What is going on, YouTubeverse? John Stanek from Johnny Radio here, bringing you another Top 5 on this glorious Top 5 Friday, and I'm so excited today to be talking to you about Unplugged Albums, MTV Unplugged. Do you remember that? Going back in time to the early 90s. It continued into the early 2000s as well, and we may have a little bit of that on this list, but we're talking the top 5 Unplugged albums. Of course, not every artist went as far as to make an album of their Unplugged session, but some of them did, and boy, some of them were very, very good. So let's get right to it, counting down my personal favorite 5. Here we go. At number 5, Eric Clapton. Absolutely have to have this in your top 5. A lot of you would probably rank this one higher. I mean, this one kind of changed the guy's career. I mean, he already had a very strong one, but his new version of Layla is magical and breathed new life into that song, which was a huge hit in the 70s. And then you had other songs like Old Love, which was really cool. The way that he really kind of toned down the whole atmosphere even more so, because, you know, you're going acoustic on Unplugged, but he himself even played more rhythm guitar on certain songs and let other guys play lead, like on Tears in Heaven, which, man, just that song alone, it's worth it for this album. It's just such a heartbreaking song when you know the story behind it of his son who died from falling out of a window, and the grief that he had and the guilt on top of it, and it's all, you just feel it in the song. And the original version, of course, is beautiful as well, but the one on here is also just amazing and powerful. And then you've got also some more upbeat tracks like Rollin' and Tumblin', but overall, it's just, I would put it up there as one of Eric Clapton's best albums, and that's really saying something because he has a lot of them. So that's just at my number 5. Now at number 4, Jay-Z from, I believe it's 2001. This is such a cool performance, and the one that really kind of got me into Jay-Z as an artist. Of course, I had heard of him already, and he had several big albums under his belt. Of course, the Blueprint had come out just a little before, so you had a lot of those songs like Hova, H to the Izzo, you know, such a cool opener. I love how they did it, kind of slow it down, and then you've got the Roots playing live instruments behind him that really adds another effect to it. Then you've got the background vocals. Jaguar Wright does an amazing job on Ain't No Love in the Heart of the City. That's really the standout track to me. And then, of course, you got Big Pimpin' and all the fun songs. It's just, it's really a celebration of like the guy's catalog up until that point, and he had already blown up. But from there, for me, that's where I got my entry point. And he's one of my favorite hip hop artists of all time, as for most of the world. So that is at my number 4. Now at number 3, Pearl Jam from 1992. I just did a review of this yesterday as my album of the month for October of 2020. And, you know, I mean, it's one of the best Pearl Jam performances of all time, in my opinion. I mean, just the iconic Black and Jeremy alone on that record. Of course, I've gone on and on about it on the review already, but I mean, come on. They were headlining the album 10, their best album of all time, as most people would agree, one of the greatest debut albums. And you had Alive, Even Flow, State of Love and Trust. Just the whole set list was magical and such a great performance to watch. Pearl Jam, one of the best bands, period. And that is just at my number 3. So now at number 2, Nirvana, Unplugged in New York. This, I believe, came out in '94 after Cobain's death. And man, you know, it's really just such a for that reason as well, such a solemn performance. Nirvana really toned it down big time, because you're used to songs like Smells Like Teen Spirit and Rape Me being like these whisper to a scream. But on here, everything is almost a whisper for the most part. Some of their best material, like Come As You Are and Dumb and Pennyroyal Tea. But then some of the cover versions that they do, like David Bowie's The Man Who Sold the World, is beautiful and electrifying. And then you've got some other songs that they did by the Meat Puppets. I almost forgot their name, because they were a band that were not very well known, and Nirvana kind of brought them into the spotlight, actually brought the two brothers out to play with them. Very cool. And their songs were cool as well. But then the highlight for me is the ending song, Where Did You Sleep Last Night? The Lead Belly cover that Cobain just made his own. And man, when you realize the turmoil that he was going through at the time, with his relationship with Courtney Love on the rocks, when he's screaming, "Where did you sleep last night?" It's just like, oh my God, man, it gets you right here. And then, of course, All Apologies, another beautiful swan song from In Utero that makes the list. I mean, just a beautiful performance. And that's just at my number 2. So now, folks, at number 1, Alice in Chains from 1996. Talk about a swan song. Man, this was right before Lane Staley passed away of his overdose with heroin. And man, I mean, just a beautiful way to go out. Of course, Alice in Chains, we already knew that they had the chops to go from electric to acoustic in a beautiful way with 1993's Jar of Flies. And a lot of those songs show up in here. But then, of course, you also have great songs from Dirt like Rooster and Wood. I mean, all the hits are here. And then you also have some of these amazing songs like Got Me Wrong that you may have missed out on some of their other albums like Grind, and Over Now, which is the second to last song on here. Such a beautiful performance. And Jerry Cantrell, you can if you're watching the video, you can see in his face that he knows this band is coming to an end soon. Like, they all knew the state that Lane was in, and just the fact that they made it through and did so beautifully. Man, it's just amazing. And those two songs alone, Got Me Wrong and Over Now, are two of my favorites, and they're not even really two of my favorite Alice in Chains songs. So it was just a magical night. And out of those 5, I mean, those are all albums that everyone should own in their catalog. But for me, that was the best. So let me know in the comments below what you think. What would be your top 5 Unplugged albums? I'm sure there's some that I didn't even mention. There's so many good ones. I mean, when you think back to that time of when MTV did videos and music, there was some really cool performances on that show and some really cool albums. So thank you to all those artists that contributed to all that great music. And thank you guys for watching. We got Top 5 Fridays every Friday. We got album reviews, so much more. Thank you for watching. And as always, Viva La Vinyl. So guys, thanks so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and be sure to ring the bell for notifications so you can always see great quality content like you're seeing on the screen right now. Thank you so much for supporting Johnny Radio, and I'll see you soon.